Hello and welcome to The Perfect Song, a GenXplainers podcast. And today, first of all, we have a special guest, Rand, who's going to be on the panel. And the song we're doing is brought to us by Al. So let me throw it over to you, Al, and let us know what you got.
All right. Well, we will be discussing the Sleater-Kinney song, The Drama You've Been Craving. And I kind of went back and forth a lot about whether to nominate this song. It's the fourth track from their album Dig Me Out, which is considered it's considered their breakthrough record. It's considered by some to be their finest record. I won't comment on that. It's a fantastic album. It is pretty high on Rolling Stone's top 500 rock and roll albums of all time. I think it's like 182 or something like that. Mm. And a fantastic record. But The Drama You've Been Craving, I'm not going to say how I would vote, but obviously I nominated it. But it's not a single from the album. There were two singles, I think Little Babies and One More Hour, both great songs. But this was not one of them. And so I didn't really know if it was appropriate to nominate it. And yet this is the song that, this song I feel like it's controlled my life since it was released in 1997. And it is one of my all-time favorite Sleater-Kinney songs. And I also think that it distills a lot of what I love about Sleater-Kinney. The back and forth between Corin Tucker and Carrie Brownstein, vocally, the fantastic explosive drumming by Janet Weiss, and I love that it's nice and short and sweet and just it just grabs you by the throat and tells you what it's got to tell you. And let's go. It's as I said, it's from Dig Me Out, and Dig Me Out is kind of their. Other people say it, so I'll just go ahead and say it. It's like their Rumors. There was a lot of stuff going on in the band, interpersonal stuff, and this album. I think Carrie Brownstein once said that most of the songs on this album are either about their relationship, hers and Carrie or Corin Tucker's, or about Corin's future husband, Lance Bangs. So it is one of those kind of really intertwined emotional records. And this track captures that as well.
Yeah.
And it's controlled your life for a very long time. So no pressure on the voting, guys.
That's right. You're really voting on me.
Your life is a lie, Alan. It's a lie.
Yeah, no, it's true. In many ways.
I really like this song. I was introduced to Sleater-Kinney by Alan because it was one of his favorite bands back in the day, and I thought they were great. I hadn't heard them, and this album, I do really like this album. What's the one after this, Al? What's the one after this one?
The Hot Rock.
Hot Rock. I like
yeah.
Hot Rock too, but I do think I like this one a little better. I don't know. Back and forth. Anyway, a very concise, short song. My notes on my reaction when I listened to it again was, I like a lot of the songs. There's great energy right out of the gate. It just starts up, the ding, and it just goes. And I love the vocal interplay, between Brownstein and Tucker. That's one of my favorite things about the band itself,
Yeah.
That and the awesome drumming and Janet Weiss. I love Janet Weiss. Anyway, it doesn't let up. 2 minutes, 8 seconds. And then, all right, you're free to go. Thanks for listening. And the thing about this song compared to maybe other songs, it's, again, the length is perfect. It's everything great that I love about Sleater-Kinney. and a nice compact banger. It's just right there. Boom. And I think it has replayability, even though it's sort of short and not a lot happens. I mean, as far as evolution in the song, I mean, you've got your verses and your choruses, but it's just such a strong song that that doesn't matter. And that's not their thing anyway. They're not here to do a Bohemian Rhapsody or a Dust on the Wind. They're here to, get in your face about what they want to say. And they do it in a great way. So that's what I'll say right now.
Yeah, I'll admit that this wasn't an album I listened to the most of theirs, and I had to go back and re-listen to the song because I hadn't listened to it for a long time. The album that really got me was All Hands on the Bad One, and that's the one I listened to. I listened to that a lot, over and over and over again. And it could have very well be that Alan, I probably heard them through you also. I can't remember. It was either you or Matt, and Matt heard it through you. So I basically heard it through you if I heard it through Matt. So
telephone.
But yeah, no, I do like the song. I'm admittedly one of those people who, when I listen to Sleater-Kinney, I do have a tough time at times differentiating between the songs I'm hearing, because a lot of them kind of sound similar and the same, and I have to go back and like refresh my memory. What was that one again? It's like it just for some reason that they just do that to me sometimes. But again, I really like them and I love the sound and I love all the stuff they're doing. So it is one of those things where it's like I'm kind of on the fence with a lot of things with what we're talking about here, but at the same time, they're great, So it's interesting how they make me feel, and that's actually really good because it causes me to think about the music rather than just like put something on and listen to the background. So.
Yeah, this is the template, the early template for what Sleater-Kinney do best. I mean, they really, with this album established that template, and this is a perfect example of that with I love that scratchy guitar. Was this the first album that Janet Weiss played on?
Yeah.
So yeah, she added so much to the band that just driving force, and lack of a bass, just two guitars going at it and drums, and it's really the Sleater-Kinney template, and this is a really good example of them doing it very well. I'm stupid enough to not know early on when there are two vocalists. I have a bad habit of like not just with Sleater-Kinney, but other bands, like saying that's the vocalist and not realizing that there's two different people singing either on different songs or even in the same song. And so I went a long time thinking that Corin Tucker was the only singer to Sleater-Kinney. And it wasn't until I saw them live that I finally realized how much Carrie Brownstein contributes vocally. So yeah, that's it's a big part of what they do as well.
I remember you not knowing there were two vocalists on Sonny and Cher songs.
Yeah, I know. It was really embarrassing. I thought it was all Sonny.
That in Paradise by the Dashboard Light, by Meatloaf. And anyway, sorry, I don't know. Again, wasted brain cells. I don't know.
Yeah, you've already brought up Kansas on this one. So
I'm trying to get them all in there. Anything else on this?
No, other than just to say, listen to this album. It's so great. There's other songs that could have been nominated from it.
Well, I think this album, The Hot Rock and All Hands on the Bad One, are all just like albums people should listen to, just because that period for me is one of their strongest. Although I love The Woods too, so it's really there's so many great albums of theirs that it's really hard to like say this is the period you should listen to, not this one, kind of thing.
Yeah. We can mention the cover of Dig Me Out is based on a Kinks album.
Yes.
What's the name of that?
I did not know that.
Controversy,
yeah.
Controversy.
It's an homage, perhaps.
Yes.
We hope you're enjoying this GenXplainers podcast. Please remember to find us and follow us on social media. And we'd much appreciate a 5-star rating on the podcast platform of your choice. Now, let's get back to the show. Yeah. So okay, well let's vote on it. Al, you brought it. Do you hate it?
I hate it.
No, I think it's the perfect song. I have thought that ever since I heard it in 1997. So yes.
Okay. How about Rand? What do you think?
So I'm a little bit like Mike, where I, haven't listened to this in a long time. Had to kind of like just jump back in and hear it for the first time getting ready for this podcast. I love a lot of Sleater-Kinney songs. I can't say that I even remembered this one before I went back and listened to it. Obviously, Alan has had a long time deep connection with it, which is why he's nominated it. I love it for what Sleater-Kinney are doing, but it doesn't resonate with me, I think, the way as deeply as it does with Alan. So I'm gonna say no on this one.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
I have a qualifier.
Ooh, a qualifier.
I know. I do think that for Sleater-Kinney songs, it's the perfect song. And that's what I will say. I don't, outside of that, it's hard for me to put it as a perfect song. But I do think that it's really strong. I think that everything about it is great. I just, going back to what I said earlier, it's sometimes so hard for me with certain bands, and they're one of them where I have to differentiate between their songs, and it's sometimes very hard. So it doesn't stand out for me in that respect as some other things do. So anyway, so I'm going to vote no, but I do qualify it as a really perfect Sleater-Kinney song.
He's just trying to be nice to Alan, I think. He doesn't want
No, that's bring it, bring it.
Okay.
I'll wait till we get to mine.
So-
Don't worry.
So, so yeah, I mean, when you say that, I see your point about kind of like when you're comparing it to other Sleater-Kinney songs, you can say, I'm not sure this one is more or less, perfect or better. And maybe, maybe it's less memorable for someone because of it. And maybe even because it's short. My opinion of it is, I think I kind of said it. I think it is sort of a Sleater-Kinney concentrate. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Everything's in it that makes them great. And it's short and sweet. And sometimes, I mean, again, the songs they write are just energy for the most part. I always feel like energy and power, and actually quite catchy, and I love the vocals and everything. And this one does such a great job of, I mean, this is a song that I would say to someone who's never heard them, say, well, listen to this one. This is kind of what you're going to get in different forms, and they evolve. Obviously, they have different songs, but for me, everything that's great about them is in this song, and it's short and sweet. And my vote is yes. I think it is a perfect song, even compared to some other Sleater-Kinney songs that I really like.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a split decision, or it's a non-decision. it's a tie.
the tie, what everybody hates.
Everyone hates a tie.
Come on, you guys want to have a shootout now?
Pew pew. So that being said, everyone should listen to it, and everyone should listen to the back catalog of a lot of their songs. Just check them out. I think they were pretty big back in the day. As far not when I say big, I'm not talking like they were the Taylor Swift of their day. No, they were like of the indie rock and rock world. They were pretty big. Now I don't know. Maybe not a lot of people remember, even though they're still putting out albums and touring. I would say go back and listen, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
I think that's the way we should judge these from now on. Well, it's no Taylor Swift, but
Right. Nothing's perfect unless it's Taylor Swift level of popularity. So, okay. There you go. Thanks, Al, for bringing that one. And thanks to the rest of y'all. And bye-bye.
Later.
Bye. Later, Slater.
Later.
later, Sleater-Kinney.
Later, Kinney.